Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. When I was a teenager, during my high school days, I had four very good friends and we used to hang out together all the time. Though mostly we played outdoor games like cricket, football, but during the time we were indoors, typically in the summers, we used to play Uno a lot. We used to love that game and could spend hours playing it happily. During one of the summer vacations, one of my friends had two of his cousins visiting him. They were a couple of years older to us and they bought with them playing cards and a small poker set. It looked fascinating to us as we had seen those kind of coins in movies, but other than that, we had no clue of what it was and how it was to be played. His cousins stayed with us for a few days and they played poker with their parents one day. We were completely smitten by it. The next day, they tried or attempted to teach us as well, with them guiding us on each step of the game because we didn't know the rules ourselves at that time. We were completely engrossed in the game of poker, even though we still didn't know most of the rules ourselves. However, the next day, before we could have learned the game ourselves, they had gone. Of course, with their poker sets. We tried to go back to playing Uno, but we found out that we didn't enjoy it as much as we used to earlier. We then bought some cheap playing cards. We didn't have poker coins, so we used different colored raw pasta and macaroni as substitute and started to play. But we couldn't enjoy it as we started fighting a lot because no one knew what the correct rules were and how it was to be played. It was a chaos. End result, we couldn't enjoy playing Uno because we had tasted the fun with poker, but we couldn't play poker either because no one knew how to play it. Does this story sound familiar to you, especially to the folks who have experienced agile transformations led by external coaches and consultants? Let me know your experience in the comments. When I got my first assignment, or rather opportunity to serve and lead an agile transformation, it was not easy for me. The entire organization was in a disarray, and the very name transformation had caused nervousness and chaos all around. It took me a few weeks to organize and prepare myself of how I should approach the transformation. So today, I'm going to share my learnings which might help you to lead an agile transformation with greater confidence and order. If you are starting with an agile transformation, it is important for you to do the following to be able to get the results that you want. First, the first thing that you must do is to understand the vision of the people sponsoring the transformation as to why they are sponsoring it. What problems do they think the transformation would solve? This is an extremely critical step as it helps you understand the expectations from the transformation, helps create a sense of urgency, and understand the end state as envisioned by the executive or sponsor group. This is also a step wherein you would set the expectations right. If there is something that is unrealistic for the transformation to solve, point out, communicate it clearly and honestly. Second, after you know the problems from the leadership's perspective, take some time out observing the organization firsthand, meet people, make your own assessment of the current state, the organizational culture, and challenges that exist according to you. Third, as the extension of step one now, wherein you know the vision of the executives group, now work with them to envision the end state with them and elicit how or what support you would require from that group. In other words, hold the leadership or sponsor group or the executive group accountable for the result. This would mean that this group would be the guiding group for the transformation. The transformation vision and strategy should be communicated to everyone in the organization to help them understand the whys for the whats they would be expected to do later. It helps communicate the sense of urgency to the larger group. Number four, draft a roadmap for the transformation, but don't form big 1 year plans. Instead, empirically control the transformation by learning and adapting. Have a 90 days rolling plan focusing on the most critical next steps and establish a cadence of regular check ins with the leadership or the sponsor group for sharing the learnings and adapting the plan. Fifth, based on the transformation roadmap, you would need to educate and train people. Start with educating the managers and leads. These people should have an absolute clear understanding of agile values and principles, as you would need this group to be your working coalition, a group which helps you drive the transformation on the ground, and a group which lives by the principles of agile themselves and set the standards. Number 6. Provide training on education on agile and other relevant frameworks to everyone in the organization. Number 7. Remove organizational barriers, alleviate people's insecurities, understand the sources of resistance and address them. Number 8. Establish the right communication channel. A culture of two-way communication and 100% transparency is absolutely important. Number 9. Work with your coalition group to identify pilot teams based on the risk-taking appetite of the organization. Provide more training and support to the pilot groups and run those pilots. Number 10. Involve and empower the pilot teams in their transformation. Do not make it like a top-down initiative that they must do. Instead, help them understand the vision and feel accountable for the changes to their working ways. Number 11. Learn from the failures of those pilot teams, adapt your approaches as needed, and celebrate success. Number 12. With the new learning, scale the transformation for more teams. Number 13. Monitor the transformation at every step. Learn and adapt from new developments. Now, circling back to our original story. As some consultants or external coaches do not leave your teams and clients before they are able to sustain the transformation on their own. Instead, build that capability inside them before leaving. Else, the transformation would fall apart once you leave, and they would be left in a situation which would be worse than they were originally in before the transformation. This means that number 14, sustain the transformation by providing continuous support, training, knowledge, and coaching to the agile teams. And lastly, number 15, don't treat the transformation as a project or a destination that you have to reach, but as a continuous journey. Be patient and empathetic with people in this journey. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, please like the video and leave a comment. Also, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you.